They survived the unimaginable.
It was like thunder in the house.
And it sounded like a train coming through.
All you could hear was bam, bam, bam.
People were crying. There was kids screaming. And
Scariest thing I ever seen.
These are not survivors of the 9/11 attacks, but of the May 22nd tornado that tore through Joplin, Missouri.
And there's nothing there. It's gone. I was in tears.
But the experiences are so similar.
We're going to take the flag to Joplin, Missouri, and we're going to let the whole town of Joplin stitch the flag on 9/11.
The torn American flag was recovered from Ground Zero. Jeff Parness, who lost a friend and business partner in the attacks, has taken battered Old Glory around the country for repairs.
Soldiers and school kids who survived the shooting at Fort Hood, Texas, have sewn this flag. World War II veterans on the deck of the USS Missouri in Pearl Harbor on Pearl Harbor Day sewed this flag. Martin Luther King's family sewed this flag. This flag is really knitting together the fabric of the country.
This is just one of the projects from the New York Says Thank You Foundation.
I personally will never forget what it was like in the days, the weeks, and months after 9/11 when you walked through the streets of Manhattan and saw, Chicago firefighters, police officers from California, rescue workers from Japan. Wherever you went, there were people that went out of their way to be here for us.
Parness struggled with how to say thanks until his son Evan heard about a California wildfire.
There was a story on the news how a girl, she lost all of her stuff in the fire,
including her toys. Evan, who was 5 at the time, decided she needed new ones.
Kids usually, they see the world in a way that not how are we going to send toys across the country, but we have to send toys across the country.
I challenged them to collect toys from all the kids in our apartment building. 3 days later, we had 100 volunteers. We had 500 New Yorkers load up a 17-foot U-Haul that 2 days later me and 2 friends drove from New York to San Diego.
Now, each year, New Yorkers head to a part of the country that's been touched by tragedy. In 2006, the volunteers rebuilt Baker Chapel, a church destroyed by a tornado in a tiny Indiana town.
400 people came up to me, tears in their eyes, to hug me and say, "God bless you." And I just looked at them all and said, "Look, we're just doing what people did for us. You want to thank me? Show up on the next one." And every year, the people from Baker Chapel keep showing up, and these people keep showing up in larger numbers every year.
Rebuilding a church, repairing a flag, helping someone who's suffering, when you know what that's like. Parness says it's empowering.
And I think the reason it's grown year after year in the amount of support we've gotten from local communities is because at the end of the day, what we're all doing is not really about 9/11. What we're doing is about 9/12. And about honoring that sense of spirit and kindness and volunteerism and unity that's so much more powerful than the tragedy that happened the day before.
Heather Bosch, CBS News, New York.